Everywhere, every moment. The Lord said, look around you. The fields are white for harvest. Pray that the Lord sends laborers. The harvest is great, but the laborers are few. Don't say there's not enough ministry. It's all around you. You are born from above. That new birth is not just receiving something in your life. It's finding something radical that you actually now are to live your life as one who is from God, from heaven, from God. Peter says you are aliens in the world. You're an alien. Some of you are, well, I'm not going into detail, no. I'm not getting political. We are aliens on planet Earth. You know, growing up, some of you grew up in the 50s and they had all these things about aliens, take me to your leader. You're one of them. That's who you are now. You're an alien on planet Earth. That means you are no longer to live your life as if you were from this life. You're to live your life as if you are to this life. You are heaven's missionary. You got to get that into your head, into your spirit. If you're living your life, I'm a victim on this, well, then you're not a missionary. You forgot everything. You're living life, they did this to me, you forgot the whole thing. You're not here to get anything. If they give you good, they give you bad, that's not the point. Who cares? If missionary's going to get hurt feelings because the tribes didn't accept them, they forgot who they are. You're not here to get anything from anybody. You're here, so if you're dwelling on that, you're already off. You're here to bless, to give. Begins with a calling. Now all of you, if you are here on earth, you are called to earth. Don't say you're not called. Don't say you're called to some other planet. This is your planet. Say, wow, I didn't realize this is actually my calling. I'm called to earth. You're here to minister to earthlings. It begins, so God so loved the world. He sent. We need to have a burden for the world. And we know how messed up the world is, and we have to keep this balance that we're against the sin of the world, but we have to be for and praying for the world, even those who are against you. A missionary prepares. You need to prepare your heart. When you go out, you need to be ready to give the gospel. You need to be ready to share God's love. Give them a tract. Give them a CD. Give them something. You're here for that reason. You're not here just to get your food or get what you bought from that cashier. You're there to bless them with something. And as much as you're attached to the world, that's going to hinder you from ministering to the world. You have to not be of the world in order to minister to the world. You have to let go of the world in order to bless the world. If you're so caught up in the world, you're not going to minister to it. You have to leave your life to find your life. You have to leave the world to be able to come back to the world and be a blessing to it. The demoniac had to leave his old life and then come back. He came back to where he lived to bless. The woman at the well had to leave her old life and go back to the people of her life to bless them. The mission always begins with letting go. We need to let go of our possessions. It doesn't mean you have to physically give away everything. It means, though, in your heart you do have to give away everything. And then do whatever God tells you to do. A missionary has to say goodbye to the old life to be a blessing to the new, and you have to do the same thing. The more you're caught up and you're still caught up in those things of the old life, you're not going to be able to be sent. You're not going to be free because you're still entangled. But a missionary from heaven comes not from the old life, they come from heaven. Everything is to come from above. Your emotions are to be fed from above. Your impulses are to come from above, not from people, not from around you, but from above. Your heart is to be a sent heart. Your emotions are sent from God. You need to receive that from. Your identity is to come from heaven totally. Not part of you is spiritual, but your whole life is an ambassador from heaven. You're like an angel. And actually the word angel in Hebrew or Greek means messenger. You are, in that sense, an angel. You're here on earth. Imagine you were just put on earth. Wow. Here's the mission field. Wow. That's what it is. And when you look around, a missionary must identify with the people. So you must identify, feel for people. It's easy to judge people. Feel for them. Put yourself in their place when you see people walking around. Jesus looked at a crowd and it says he saw his heart went out for them. He saw them as sheep, lost sheep. And when you look at a crowd, what do you see? When you look at them, do you judge them or do you have a heart for them? You know, we are beloved children. That means we're supposed to be getting over, we're not supposed to be wrapped up in ourselves. We're supposed to be over ourselves to bless others. You have to learn the language of the natives. Learn the language of earth. How do you reach people on earth? Well, feel for where they're at, then give them the gospel. I became a Jew to the Jew, a Greek to the Greek. I became an earthling to an earthling. I became as if I was unsaved, not compromised, but I put myself in their place to see what do they need to come to the Lord. The missionary must live separately, wholly, separate from the culture, yet ministering to the culture. To give. Why are you here every day? Not to get your next thrill. You're here to give. And the weird thing is, the more you live to give and bless from God, the more happy and joyful you're going to be.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Hope of the World is dedicated to the goal of spreading God's Word and salvation to every land and people. We do this by spreading the Word throughout the world and sponsoring compassion projects to the most poor and needy around the earth. To get in touch or have a part in God's work, just write to Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Or go to hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821.